Tech4Africa is the premier technology in Africa event on the continent. It all started with the idea that people in Africa shouldn't have to travel the world to listen to and interact with the best technology minds in the world.
In 2006, I went to a conference called South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. It was amazing because I met all the guys who were building the internet at that time. And this is when stuff was really starting to change and shift and become more user-friendly, more engaging, more faster, easier. And these guys were building all of those platforms. So this is, like LinkedIn, Yahoo, Skype, Wikipedia, Craigslist, Microsoft, Ajax, like all the new technologies were happening. And I was there listening to these guys and then going and talking to them after each session. And I'm the South African guy. I grew up in Bedfordview. I went to school in Bloemfontein. It just blew my mind. And this was 2006. And I was in a corridor with Jimmy Wales and Craig Newmark. And these guys are internet legends. And I just said, how can we do this in Africa? What do we have to do to make this happen in Africa so that people can have the same experience, so that they can learn like I did, and that I can hopefully amplify that experience and that knowledge. So that was 2006, and we put our first event on in 2010. And so this is our third year.
The event saw speakers like Alan Craig Jr., ex-CEO of Mixit, the largest social network in Africa, take the stage. Two young tech-savvy entrepreneurs sharing their business ideas with the audience. MC for this year's event was Toby Shapshak.
It's been the launchpad for a couple of really good ideas and a bunch of very good speakers. We've had a great talk about Deal Day in Nigeria and the problems with online commerce in Nigeria, and the fact that people trust cash because they have trust issues with other payment mechanisms, and the fact that you can leapfrog payment technologies, you can leapfrog bricks and mortar with this new kind of technology, and there's a certain level of trust that people have with a mobile device that they don't have with other technologies.
During the day's proceedings, a competition, Tech4Africa Ignite, took place. The goal of this competition is to showcase some of the entrepreneurial talent in the tech arena. One of the mentors for the competition was Angel Hub, a business angel investment group.
So we're looking for a business that and we rate these businesses in terms of the product that they have, the market that they are working with, the actual business model, and the team that sits behind it. And the ones that we selected today were because of the fact that they were not only viewed as investable, so they would definitely get a next meeting. Based on their pitch, they would get a next meeting with an investor, which could eventually lead to investment. But they also had a couple of characteristics, like they're a great business-to-business model that also has business-to-customer potential, and they also have the ability to scale beyond just the South African borders.
The winner was a business called Valuation Up, the brainchild of Gareth Osh.
So my background's in corporate finance and strategy consulting, and I've learned over the years what drives valuation in businesses and how most small and medium businesses have no clue about this. When they come to buying or selling the business, they really leave a lot of money on the table. There's a lot of risk. So I wanted to build a tool that was easy to understand for the entrepreneur, no financial knowledge required, that showed them what drives the value in their business. And that's Valuation Up. And behind the scenes, we built a database of about 1 million small, medium businesses, the financial statements. It allows us to benchmark the performance of a business in almost 1,200 industry groups anywhere in the world. And we can tell an entrepreneur exactly how well they're running the business. And with that in mind, we can help them understand the path from here to their full potential, what they need to do, what they need to focus on to maximize the value of their business. And we can do that for a fraction of the cost of a normal advisory route.
This was Alan Craig Jr.'s first public appearance since his exit from Mixit and World of Avatar. We caught up with him to discuss this recent news.
So a couple of weeks ago, I departed from Mixit and World of Avatar, both as a shareholder and an employee. I guess what happened was, my fellow shareholders and I kind of couldn't really see eye to eye on how to get to where we wanted to go, although we totally buy the same dream. And it was quite a difficult decision for myself, but in the end, I think I did the right thing for the business. And I don't know, I'm not sure what the next step is. Well, this was quite a surprise, so I didn't really plan for this. So I think the very first thing I've done is make a decision not to make any decisions. And I'm going to do that for about 6 months. I'm very fortunate I don't have to panic just yet. And I'm going to take my kids and my wife. I think we're going to do some traveling around South Africa as well. And 19th of April 2013, I'll make a decision about what next.
We asked him, given this experience, what sort of advice can he give to some of the tech entrepreneurs out there?
Look, I mean, from this whole event, this particularly has given me a couple of opportunities to learn. And what I've just said now, there are three main things. I mean, the first thing is, if you're going to get into this kind of business, make sure you don't just think about the long-term fortune and revenues and all of that. Think about how you're going to make money quickly. And if you can't make money quickly, it's not really in my nature. Find somebody who can and bring them into your team. Just because they're irritating doesn't mean they're not going to help you. Second thing is, process is important. And while startups have to be quick and nimble, and you don't want too many rules. Rules also help you, make a success of everything. So, I mean, in process, people are born that way, in a way. So don't just assume that you can figure out process. Find somebody who's got a knack for it. And the third thing is, and this is the key. This is the key for everybody. I think it's the key in family, business, government, everything. You've got to get your picture in your head into that guy's head. If you can't do that with your shareholders, with your partners, with your employees, with your children, with whoever, you're going to fail. And it's not the responsibility of the person receiving the message. It's the responsibility of the person giving the message. And if there's one thing I can probably do going forward is figure out a little bit, work a little bit more on my communication.
The future for Tech4Africa is bright, with Gareth Knight saying there are plans to host events in the rest of Africa too.
My dream is to take this to Nairobi, to Lagos, to Accra, and probably host smaller events around Africa, because I think there's a crying need for this kind of thing. I think we're trying to stay true to the ideal that if you give people good value in content and they learn from it, then they'll keep wanting to engage.